You know what? I was just thinking, I was like, remember people were saying, oh, we need a liberal Joe Rogan. I think maybe is he trying to gun for that spot? This is the very liberal Daily Beast. Comedian Anthony Jeselnik roasts effing losers who listen to Joe Rogan. Maybe this is what he's trying to do, is position himself as a liberal Joe Rogan.
Oh, he'll never make it. He'll never get to that. So the thing with Joe Rogan is that he has people of all different
Well, he listens to
opinions and
people.
yeah, and he has people on his show. The only reason why he's become a right wing was because he went to his fucking doctor and had a medication prescribed to him for his illness back in 2020. And I think we all know what I'm talking about here. And
Yep.
everybody went off the rails and accused him of immediately started accusing him of being right wing because he went.
Right.
The same doctor that can administer that injection that they're so obsessed with suddenly can't prescribe a medication? That's crazy to me, first of all. But now you're a right-wing QAnon nut job because you took a medication that your doctor prescribed to you.
Mm-hmm.
What? So anyway, so he's not. I wouldn't even say he's right-wing. I mean, yeah, okay, fine. He endorsed Donald Trump this time around, fair, but he was a Bernie bro and he got pushed into that corner because of these leftist nut jobs. It's not he's not right wing. He did what he thought was best for him when he was bullied.
He was pushed into that position.
Yeah, Anthony Jeselnik would have to have an open mind and be willing to have conversations with people that he doesn't agree with, and that look at him, he's a
which he
bitch,
wouldn't be able to
baby.
do because the attention has to be 100% focused on him at all times.
Yeah, because all
can't
paths lead to him.
He can't handle sharing the spotlight. Okay, so the Daily Beast, this article is talking about his 20-year career, promoting his new Bones and All stand-up special. Finds him at the absolute height of his dark comedic act. The deliberate nature of Jeselnik's comedy, which consists of a steady stream of devastatingly dark one-liners, as opposed to the autobiographical storytelling that has become the default mode for most of his peers, means fans had to wait a bit longer between it's better to have just one-liners than to just be talking about yourself. It's just a stylistic choice. It doesn't mean one's better than the other.
Yeah.
But for those who believe in the power of Jeselnik as the preeminent joke writer of our time, it was very much worth the wait. Of course, no one believes in Anthony Jeselnik more than Anthony Jeselnik, who has made his incredible arrogance part of his villainous onstage persona. The quote that led the headline of a recent profile by Vulture perfectly sums up his embrace of his utter confidence over any shred of self-deprecation. I'm not letting you laugh at me. I'm perfect. I guess is he trying to be funny with that? I don't know. It just comes off arrogant and unlikable to me.
Well, after all those other weird statements he made about himself, like, yeah, that could have been funny if you weren't already so full of yourself, sir.
In the special itself, Jeselnik addresses cancel culture debate by saying that comedians are supposed to be unparalleled badasses, adding, I know this because I have a fucking mirror. Oh, come on. Has anyone ever tried to truly cancel and succeeded at canceling any of Anthony's shows? I don't think so.
No, but you know what? A light bulb just went off. Something about this like triggered a memory. I think it was actually Your Mom's House podcast that he was on. I'm pretty sure, like 4 or 5 years ago. He was talking about how he used to be a writer for, I think it was Jimmy Fallon. He was like a writer for some late night comedian. And he was like, yeah, I was there for like, I think 2 years or something like that. He goes, they never used a single one of my jokes.
Anthony was?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that was.
Really?
I'm pretty sure that was him. Now I'm like, I mean, I'm pretty sure that was him because I think he wasn't it him?
Videos of Anthony Jeselnik used to write late night comedy. Huh.
Because I think he was actually even was he? Because I know Christina Pajitsky, she was on MTV. She did Road Rules, and I feel like around that time they did something together. I feel like they're talking about.
In my Googling, I see Just a headline that says Anthony Jeselnik isn't fazed by comedy hacks like Matt Rife. Okay, so he thinks Matt Rife is a hack.
That's just so stupid.
He just hates everybody.
What?
Interesting.
Let's see here. Let me see if because I haven't listened to this in a very long time, so maybe I can find it.
Okay, I'm gonna keep reading this. Here's this trailer of the special. Here we go. The special arrives at a moment when Democrats are searching, almost certainly in vain, for a liberal Joe Rogan who can lift up progressive candidates and causes in the same way Rogan played kingmaker for Trump and the MAGA right this past year. Jeselnik does have a podcast, but its reach is nothing like Rogan's. Of course, that doesn't stop him from going after the popular host from his perch on the stand-up stage. Guys, don't get me wrong. I like Joe. Joe's my friend. Joe's a good guy. But if you listen to his podcast, you're a fucking loser. I'm so cool.
Wow, yeah, sounds like he was really he really likes him.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, that's really weird to say about someone. Oh yeah, that's my friend, but if you listen to them, you're a loser.
Doesn't sound like your friend. Just sounds like you are using him to name drop. Calls Tony Hinchcliffe a hack. Wow, when I talked to Jeselnik for this profile, he told me if he were taping the special now, he'd leave out the part about how he likes Rogan and thinks he's a good guy. Oh. Because he probably was trying to have it both ways. He wants to both shit on him and kiss his ass.
But now he would rather just take out the part where he's kissing his ass.
Yeah. Because he wants to be the left-wing Joe Rogan now.
Wow.
Wow. Speaking to OG podcaster Mark Maron, who himself made the case to be the liberal Joe Rogan with a scathing rant against humanizing fascism last month, Jeselnik accused Rogan and his ilk of being seduced by power. It's not even so much the interview as the victory lap that bothers me, he said, saying the photo of Rogan with his arm around Trump made him sick.
My God.
Why would that make you sick?
Because he's been brainwashed into believing that if you even are in the same room as Donald Trump, that you are you're a horrible person and you hate everyone and you believe in mass genocide or whatever. I don't know what is it that's so bad.
If they were effing with these guys, I'd have no problem with it, but they're not. On its face, there's nothing woke about Jeselnik's comedy, which consistently crosses lines many comedians wouldn't touch, including jokes about rape, child enthusiasm, and any number of topics that don't seem funny on this. Tons of people have jokes about rape. You're not breaking any barriers there. But his ability to subvert expectations and deliver genuinely surprising punchlines that even his comedian's friend never seen coming. According to who? Did Anthony just submit this whole article to the Daily Beast himself? Be like, just say that not even comedians see the punchlines coming. Jeselnik would rather his audience laugh despite themselves than groan out of moral superiority. Okay. The instinct is on full display that the bit opens in the new hour. On stage, he explains, he compares trans women to pregnant women, used to be his closer until an audience member came up to him after show and told him why they found it so offensive. So I changed it. Now it's my opener. Okay. He just likes talking about how edgy he is and how much of a hack everybody else is.
Okay, so this is saying that he wrote for Jimmy Fallon in their first season in 2009. So that is okay. That is what I'm remembering. I'm like,
Jeselnik takes his opportunity to offer some meta commentary on his responsibility as a comedian to share his opinion on the trans community, a not so subtle dig at comics like Dave Chappelle, Ricky Gervais, and Rogan, who have come under fire for making jokes at that community's expense in recent years. Look, guys, you've got to do it now. It's in the handbook. It's quite possible that the joke that follows will offend members of the community and others, but it's also clear that Jeselnik has taken pains to thread the needle in a way that doesn't make trans people the punchline and ultimately turns the joke around on himself. Ultimately, there's no real indication that Jeselnik would ever want to be a Rogan for the left, and he has even said that he would like to stop doing his podcast so he can focus solely on stand-up. Well, then stop. No one is making you do this podcast, Anthony, and no one is making you buy these viewers.
I'm wondering if you bought subscribers.
No one is making you do this podcast where you weirdly keep getting 11,000 views on every single video.
Yeah, the crazy thing is like I'm surprised to hear his name at all. Like I just thought that he faded into obscurity or something.
He's annoyed that he has to do a podcast. He probably feels like he has to do a podcast, and he's annoyed that it's not propelling him to viral heights.
Well, I mean, I don't know why he would think it would. He's like nobody's looked up his name in years. I mean, he deleted his Twitter.
When I went to Google him, I typed in Dane Cook. That's how little I knew and remembered about Anthony Jeselnik.
Yeah, well, it's like when I first heard that he was trash talking Joe Rogan, I was like, wait, is that the guy that dated Amy Schumer? Like, I forgot about his existence. And it's just weird to like that he thinks that something like podcasting is beneath him. Tom Segura and Christina Pajitsky skyrocketed into the spotlight. And a lot of it is because of their podcast. I mean, granted, like I just randomly stumbled upon them when I used to listen to Pandora when they got the comedy channel set up on there. Okay. That's how I found out who they were. And I was like, man, these people are awesome. Right. So like, I didn't even know they had a podcast for like years and years and years after that. Yeah. And I even then I was like, why do I care about their podcast when I could just watch their stand up or whatever? But like so many people were already very excited about podcasts at the time. I was lucky to have internet most of the time. So there's that. But
I had to rub two sticks together.
I'm telling you, like, listen, your girl was on a struggle bus for a long time. But like, but anyway, like there's nothing, there's nothing shameful about the way that Tom Segura and Christina Pajitsky got it into the position they're in. And look at them. They have a lot of money. They're doing really, really well. Really well. To think like none of this is beneath you, dude. Like that's where all this is coming from. Is like because you're right. He doesn't want to do a podcast because I just want to focus on stand up. You can't focus on stand up because you're not marketing yourself very well at all. And what's wrong with doing a podcast? A lot of people would dream of being able to have a successful podcast. And
right,
like for him to just think that it's nothing.
I guess I imagine his set is just very meticulously it's just jokes and one-liners, right? He's like not somebody who just talks about himself and he doesn't like ramble on, you know. Maybe he's a hard person to get to know. In fact, he clearly doesn't want people to know he's bisexual.
I mean, yeah, he's too afraid to admit that he sucked one dick because now he's going to be known as being gay. Yep. And it's like, well, that's because you are the one who you don't talk about your any of your personal life experiences, which is fine.
This is the way the tide is moving. People like Trump, people like Rogan, people like Hinchcliffe, it's like this populist. People love Tim Dillon. It's not just about, and I think Mark Norman is an amazing comic, but he doesn't like really let people in. He and maybe it's just he's not somebody who's easy to get to know. It's like, but he's not somebody who's his set is very much like joke. He's not going into like personal stories very much.
Well, then you have like people like Daniel Tosh. I don't think he's ever told an actual personal story ever. Oh, well, I mean, I guess he talked about his mom being a nurse or something, but like, I mean, the weird stuff that he was saying about how, like, oh, if his girlfriend lost a leg, then he's going to set her up with the dude on the side of the road, the homeless guy on the side of the freeway, like, just stupid shit. Like, how many personal experiences has he talked about in his stand-up? And he's been able to get away, or well, he used to, I hate him now, but, like, he used to get away, he used to tell, like, really good jokes that I should have been terribly offended by because a lot of it was against women. But it was good. And I think honestly back in that time when Tosh.0 was a big deal, like Anthony Jeselnik was probably trying to be him. And
Mm. So
that
he
didn't pan
probably,
out.
yeah, I think he just wishes he didn't have to do podcasting. I'm not going to be the resistance, Jeselnik told Marin. I'm just going to keep doing what I do and hope that's enough. But he does seem to truly believe that his comedy, as dark as it can serve as a social good for the world. I want to be the type of villain that other villains are afraid of. Who the fuck says that? Jeselnik told me when we spoke on the Last Laugh podcast, in 2019. We live in a world now where there are very real villains. I'm a comedian. People get mad at me, but I make people laugh for a living. There are way worse people out there that you should be upset with, and I like that I might make those people afraid. Who are you talking about?
If this is how you speak when it comes to being a comedian, I don't think you want to be a comedian.
And sure, and here's this episode here. This is from wow. Anthony Jeselnik on Trump SNL and why he's uncancelable.
Yeah, because you've never had anything to be canceled from. I'm sorry. I mean, granted, like, hello, he's had quite a bit of success, but like, no,
He's at a level where he can't be canceled. He's like got enough money, I think he's at that level where a couple of goofy fans aren't going to call up a venue and like get a show canceled.
right. Well, yeah, like he hasn't he hasn't reached a level where people are going to be. He doesn't have the fuck you money level yet, right? Like Dave Chappelle
Maybe he
didn't.
does.
Does he? He's talking like he hasn't been able to keep the lights on for a while. Like he had to borrow his friend's internet so that he could upload that podcast episode that was clearly filmed in somebody's basement.
Do you know that he refers to himself as the Dark Prince of Comedy?
What a retard. This is all just so sad. Like the more that we talk about it, the more I just realize like this is so sad. He has done so many things that like people like me could only dream of.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my God. Like and he's sitting here, he's just so ungrateful. He
Yeah.
can't even look at anything that he's accomplished and think like this is awesome. I can't believe I achieved this. This is great. Not many people
Right.
can do it. It doesn't matter how good you are in your own eyes. Like if you're not being received properly, you're not going to get anywhere.
You're right.
If the right people don't like you, you're not going to get anywhere.
So
That's
he's a
just
writer,
it.
writer for Fallon, first season,
Yeah.
hosted a Comedy Central Presents in 2009. Critically acclaimed his debut Adam Shakespeare 2010. He began writing for the Comedy Central roasts, performed at the roast of Trump. So he probably wishes he could interview Trump. He's like, I fucking roasted this guy. He continued to perform on the roast of Charlie Sheen and Roseanne Barr. And look at Roseanne, where she is now. She's she is she's an alt media darling.
Did you know that she and Blair White went on tour together?
I love that.
Oh my God. When I saw a picture of that, I was like, this is the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life.
In 2013, he hosted his own Comedy Central series for 2 seasons, The Jeselnik Offensive. He's had look at this career he's had. Why is he bitching? His second album doubles as an hour-long stand-up special. In 2015, he replaced JB Smoove as the host of Last Comic Standing. He has a second stand-up special called Thoughts and Prayer on 2015 in Netflix. His third special, Fire the Maternity Ward, was 2019. And now this one is on, so what is this? His fourth Netflix special? Why are we bitching here?
My God. Fourth Netflix special. Who the fuck does he think he is? To sit here and whine and cry about this and think that he's not doing he's mad that people aren't licking his asshole. You're not that good.
He's mad that he's not Joe Rogan, but he also doesn't care about podcasting, doesn't see the value, not good at it. He's just going through the motions. He doesn't make different thumbnails. he clearly buys followers, buys views, whatever. He's phoning it in.
Yeah, he's not he's not deserving of this because he doesn't know how to be thankful.
Yeah.
That's all that this boils down to. The dude needs to step away for a minute,
Mhm.
quiet his mind, and just learn how to be thankful just for tiny things, okay? Hey, when was the last time that you didn't have enough money to fill up your gas tank?
Mm-hmm.
Probably was a really long time ago, huh? If ever.
Yeah, when's the
Maybe
last time
take a moment to be thankful for
you
that.
put your hand in a dirty diaper? Okay.
But here, you know what?
He's an atheist. This is the problem. He's an atheist.
Yeah,
He needs God. He needs Jesus. He's not married. He doesn't have any kids. He's an atheist. This is his problem. He has all this, all
look
the
at everything.
success.
Look at all of his personal life.
He's
Right-
Slovenian
just right
and he's
there
an
where-
atheist.
What you just listed off, he's not married, he doesn't have kids, and he's an atheist. What does he have to be thankful for, right?
Mhm.
Like he's because those things
Wow, he was
in
on
most
Premium
everybody's
blend. Whew.
yeah, in most everybody's life, those things are extremely fulfilling. To be married, to have a child, to have a faith to follow, that is a positive light in their life. And he
Even
doesn't
a
have
pet.
any of that. Yeah.
Like, where's his
Look
pet?
at my dogs. They're so perfect. Yeah. Where's
Look
your
at
pet?
look at this fucking resume.
This is incredible. The fact that he hasn't. When was the last time that he had to go fill out an application for a freaking
Yeah.
grocery store?
Have you ever had to take a typing test at a headhunter so that you could get an office job just so you could pay your rent? No. Guess
Yeah.
who's done that a lot?
When was the last time you had to fill out an application to be a barista? When was the last time you had to go be a waiter or a bartender?
Mhm.
When? Because what I'm looking at from this since 2008, he has had a great career and has been very much able to pay the bills. I mean, there's a lot of
Constantly
this
working,
stuff too.
yeah.
He probably gets like maybe some type of royalties from or something to that effect. Maybe I don't
Mhm.
know, but like something like it just the fact that he keeps getting work
Yeah.
too. Like I just can't even believe just that yeah, that's the only thing that makes sense is like he has no faith to follow. He doesn't have a woman in his life to be thankful for. He
Maybe
doesn't
he
have
is
children. Like
getting a little
God.
desperate because look, if he hasn't had anything since 2019, 21 to 20, that's 5 years. Maybe he is starting to freak out because look, he had this great run from 06. The early aughts, the 2010s were very kind to him. And then pandemic, he hasn't done shit in the last 5 years.
And he really I honestly there's part of me that thinks that he's like a little boomery too, where he
A 45-year-old boomer. Yeah, that's what happens. It's kind of like you get stuck in that in-between generation.